The moonstone is stirring up problems again. The doppelgänger is moving solo, and a dead original gives us at least 2 reasons to be scared. Mistrust is the theme in Mystic Falls tonight. This is The Sacrifice. Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Amber Janae, and I do have a new co-host with me this week. Presley has been fired, so she won't be coming back until next week. So just kidding, she's not fired. But graciously, our fellow tour guide extraordinaire, Lauren Nicole, has stepped in. Hello, Lauren. Also, Lauren is Team Damon. So for all my Damon fans watching, don't get on to me, okay? I didn't bring in Stefan Duo. I didn't bring in a Stefan times 2. I'm trying to keep it even here. So I did seek out a Damon fan, and by seek out, I meant I need you to do this episode with me, and here she is. So we're very excited. I'm very excited about this episode. I think also she might be excited considering her shirt that she has on. She may or may not have a favorite character from this episode so far. Let's get into the episode. This episode opens, Elena runs into Alaric and Jenna. They're in the hallway upstairs, and they've obviously been like doing their thing. And I think it's cute. I mean, excuse my language here, but I'm excited that Aunt Jenna is getting dick down, honestly. I think she deserves it. I think she's been through a lot, and I'm just nice to see her glowing for the right reasons, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm very excited for her for that. They both make it very awkward for Elena. Y'all could have just went back to your room. But instead, they're like, oh, you know what we were doing.
Yeah, some chunky monkey.
Yeah. Elena's like, can I just go to bed? Like, I don't give 2 shits. Because we all know Jenna's heard her and Stefan before. Which is probably even worse than the other way around, you know? But anyway, so Jenna's like, do you mind if Alaric stays here? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. Like, can I please just go to bed? Meanwhile, while all this is happening in the living room or in the hallway or whatever upstairs, Daddy Warlock dude is taking a lock of her hair and all kinds of weird stuff out of her room, I guess to do something witchy. So I'm sure it's going to play in at some point, which we will see a little bit later in the episode. And then you go to the Salvatore brothers, and the Salvatore brothers are trying to get the moonstone from Catherine. If you guys remember in season 1, we talked a lot about Bonnie's necklace and how annoying it was as a side character. That's how I'm feeling about the moonstone at this point. I'm exhausted by the moonstone. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say moonstone anymore. Like, I don't understand these objects that come into play, and then they just become, they literally become a secondary character. Like, the moonstone is a secondary character the same way Bonnie's necklace was in the first episode. So the moonstone's annoying. I'm tired of hearing about it. But anyways, now they need it back because I don't even know why you threw it in there with Catherine in the first place. Did you not know that there could be a chance that you might need it back? You still don't know anything about the werewolves. You're still running around. You know what? Let's throw this in here. Let's throw her a bone. No, why are you giving that to her? Anyways, did it make sense why it was in there anyways? So basically, she's like, let me out of here and you can have the moonstone. And this is the part where Lauren and I actually discussed this at dinner earlier. We were talking about Bonnie. And I don't understand why Bonnie can't just like snap Catherine's neck or boil her brain or just go whoosh and like get the moonstone. Like, I don't understand why she has to exert enough power to, at least here in the episode, we're going to figure out that they want her to take down the tomb again. So we know what happened last time that happened. Grams died. Yeah. So, and we know that Bonnie is like not strong enough to do it. She's getting a nosebleed every time she turns a corner these days. So it just seems strange that there was no other avenue that was even tried.
It's exactly what I wrote down. Physically harder, nosebleeds, passes out.
Yeah, she's just like passing out constantly all the time. And then she's like, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. You're really not okay. Like, this is insane. Like, you don't know what's going on. I don't understand all that. Okay, so Luca shows Bonnie how to share strength. He gets like an item of hers, and then he takes an item of his, which is his dog tags, which I don't know why he has those. Did he explain why he had dog tags?
No.
He's in high school.
No.
And his dad's alive.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose dog tags those are. It's a legit question, honestly. Grandpa, maybe? Grampire? The other day, Larry, I didn't tell you this. I was on the phone and I said, Larry wants Scarlett to call him grandsire. And Holly said, Grampire, that's the best thing I've ever heard. She was like, you need to trademark that. And then I said, Grampire is so much better. So anyways, we should get Scarlett to start calling you Grampire. That's funny. Anyways, that's what I was going to say. All right, so Luca and Bonnie, all that stuff's going on. Here's where I'm at. Jeremy's trying to get with her. I need Luca to back off.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't care. I don't care if it's flirtation. I don't care, whatever. Like, we've literally been talking the last few episodes about how excited we are for Bonnie and Jeremy. I'm not interested in this guy.
Do you want to hear what I wrote down? She closes her eyes, and he stares at her like he's about to jizz his pants.
Yeah.
And then the winds make the leaves swirl around him, and she comes.
I literally wrote down, we love a good wind and leaf scene. Here at Vampire Stalkers Mystic Falls Tours, we love a good wind and leaf scene. And what's really crazy about this one is that everybody in the background is going, whoa, what's going on? And then the two of them are just standing there like, you would be able to catch on that something weird was happening.
Everyone else is running from the wind, and they
Yes.
had a little quickie, is what I wrote.
Yeah.
And Jeremy walks up.
They are running from the wind. Everybody in the background is like, they're really playing into it a little too hard. They're all like, whoa. Like, there's like leaves going everywhere. It's crazy. But yeah, Bonnie and Luca are just standing there, like, enjoying all of it. Anyways, if you've ever been on tour with us, you know, especially Lauren loves the winds and the leaves, but I figured that was a scene you were definitely going to want to talk about. So Elena walks in on a naked Rose. So she knows what's going on there. And you know what? Good for Damon. I said this last time. I know my Damon and Elena fans, y'all are, but you know what? Your time will come eventually, all right? So just chill out. Let's let Damon have a little bit of fun. If you don't remember, he was chasing Catherine for 145 years, which I'm sure he took care of himself in that time. But, I mean, I don't think that Damon's just, like, hopping in the sack with everyone. He just seems like he does genuinely seem like he wants to love someone. He does want to be in love. He wants to be, you know, a protector and be with somebody. But in the meantime, I mean, you know, have some fun.
Why not?
And it's not like Rose is ugly. She's very cute.
You mean Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie from
Walking Dead.
Yeah. It's funny that she had to have auditioned for The Walking Dead while filming this show.
100%.
So
and her name's Lauren.
Yeah, so it's crazy how she went. And we said this last time too. Her Y2K haircut is so good in these like,
definitely had that in
I
eighth
definitely
grade.
kind of want it back. Like, I'm sitting here, like, my hair is going out a little bit more, and I'm like, do I want to get Rose spiky? I don't know.
Lace can do it. She did mine in 8th grade.
Yeah, it's cute. I'm not letting your sister touch me with scissors.
Please don't let her touch anybody with scissors.
Let's remind everybody that her sister told me one time, yeah, go to this girl to cut your hair, and I gave her my picture of my haircut was me. It was a picture of me. So it was my haircut of me. This was my reference photo. My reference photo was myself, okay? And I walked in with hair down here and walked out with hair up to here. And then she said, isn't your long shag nice? And then I had a mental breakdown and went and paid $1,000 for extensions. So I don't think I'm going to let your sister near me with a pair of scissors. Just want to say a little bit of PTSD from that. Anyway, so Rose is naked and Elena walks in and Damon's getting him some. She offers her a daylight ring in exchange to take her 2 years later. Here she is going behind the brothers' backs. But I also want to say, and I said this a few episodes ago, how has Rose not run into a witch this whole time? How did her?
She's been on the run. She didn't want anybody to know.
I mean, I guess if you're trying to
They have
hide,
spies
sure,
everywhere.
but just like, and even this later guy, why doesn't he have a daylight ring? Like, how is he so connected, and he couldn't find a
there's
witch?
special windows.
I know, but if you're doing all that research, you're obsessed. You have 18, whatever. You're gonna live forever. Wouldn't you want to just? If you're gonna be out in the sun anyways, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to be a pure vampire. It doesn't matter. He's fucking dead anyways.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This guy that was in 5 minutes of an episode's dead. All right. Anyway, she's going behind the brothers' backs. She's going behind the brothers' back. Now, Matt shows up. We're back at the high school. Matt shows up, and he apologizes to Tyler about how he acted. And I got to tell you, I love this scene. I thought that Zach did a great job. But you also can tell that Matt is struggling. Like, he truly does not understand what he did, and he feels horrible about it. And thankfully, Tyler's not being a douchebag. Thankfully, he has an understanding now that Caroline has explained everything to him about what's going on, and he's definitely being kinder to Matt and accepts his apology. It seems like they can go back to being friends.
Definitely said apologizes sincerely.
He does. He apologizes sincerely. I think Matt might have a little bit of PTSD from this. I mean, that's just insane. Like, everything that happened. And then he's like, I keep thinking about Sarah. And I'm like, well, you should, because she triggered the curse. All right. Now that we're about to find Slater dead, I did want to mention that Slater's apartments are the Porterdale Lofts. So the Porterdale Lofts, which are right down the road from here in Porterdale, a very small little town, cute little town. They used it again for the originals. Marcel's apartment is also at Porterdale Lofts. If you go online, you look at Porterdale Lofts, I'll get Presley to throw something up in here so you can see them. But you can tell, like, it hasn't changed much, but it's like an old industrial building that they turned into lofts. And Vampire Diaries used it a few times. But Marcel's apartment was one, and then this one was Slater's. And there may be another time that it comes up again, but I knew for sure, so I wanted to say that. I don't have a way to do a Covington connection for this because I don't know anybody that lives in the apartments to go down there and tour them or anything, but I did want to at least bring it up to y'all.
Want to see if they're renting one?
Could see if they're renting one, yeah, and maybe go look at it that way. That's not a terrible idea. So this is when they find him dead. Sorry, I said that earlier, but this is when they find Slater dead, and then they want to search his computers. And Lauren brought up a good point earlier because I said earlier when we were at dinner, I had said before, who's doing all the record keeping? Who's keeping all? And she said Slater is. And that may be true. I mean, Slater hasn't been around since 1492. So there's definitely someone who was keeping records before then. But definitely in the last however many years that he's been alive, he's been keeping some pretty serious records on everyone that's alive.
There's some universities keeping track of things too.
I think there is, yes. Well, we know Isabel did and kept track of things, yeah. But 500 years of keeping track, I would like to know. I would like to know who started it. I would like to know, again, who preserved that family photo for Catherine, because
23andMe.
It looked spanking new. It looked brand new. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then there's like this really annoying girl that shows up that apparently is Slater's girlfriend. What's her name? Did you write it down? I don't
Alice.
care. Alice. Okay, yeah, and that makes sense.
Is in the closet.
So Alice, yes, she's in the closet. And then Rose pretty much explains to Elena here in a little bit that she doesn't give two shits that Slater's dead. She wanted Slater to turn her. That's the only reason that she was with him.
I just want to go back to when they get there to the apartments.
Yeah.
Rose knocks on the door one time. Slater, are you home? Oh, he's not here. We got to go. Yeah, she didn't give two shits.
She did not give two shits. Well, she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to do anything with this. She doesn't want to get close to Klaus.
And she knows she's going to make Damon mad for bringing Elena over there in the first place.
And that too. And she's sleeping with Damon right now, so making Damon mad is not what she wants to do. I will say, I also said last episode that I genuinely, truly believe that Rose is terrified of Klaus.
100%.
Like, so I could see her also being a little schemy, you know? But I also think that if you remember, she was ready. All of it could have ended if she was able to turn over Catherine. So in her mind, this may be a repeat. This may be, well, if he gets what he wants, maybe he disappears. Maybe we don't hear from Klaus anymore. Maybe, hey, if she wants to sacrifice herself, I mean, whatever. I don't have to stop running. I can stop running for 500 years. Who knows what's going on in Rose's mind? But that's kind of where I'm at with it. Back at the house, Bonnie does a spell to incapacitate Catherine. So they take the photo of her from 1864 that Stefan had, the one that Elena finds in the first season. And she's like, why does she look like me? Blah, blah, blah. He says it belonged to Catherine. They found it in her stuff. So that's what she burns into ash. And then apparently if you it on her, then she'll pass out for a few minutes.
Incapacitated for 1 to 2 minutes.
For 1 to 2 minutes, which still doesn't seem like enough. Like, I feel like in your spell book, you could incapacitate her for 2 minutes and then start bullying her brain. There's so many more options here that Bonnie has already done that it'd be like, okay, we're getting in the future, but we're not. She showed Damon what she could do. Like, if she could semi take down Damon, I feel like she could keep at bay a weak Catherine.
Maybe.
So, anyways, but she doesn't even try, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tyler takes Caroline to the Lockwood cellar. He says something, and she goes, yeah, I know we're on the Lockwood property, and, doesn't inform him that she killed the entire Mystic Falls police squad down there, so she just kind of, leaves that part out, which still blows my mind to this day, that is how she decided to show herself to her mom. I'll never understand the writing behind that. I'll never understand why they were like, all right, kill everyone. show her how awful you are, when all she had to do was just compel them or something.
Or knock them out.
Yeah, or knock him out or anything. She could have done anything. He takes her down there. He shows her the chains and all that stuff. And he says this is what he thinks was used to tie up for a full moon. Clearly it was. He saw Uncle Mason with the chains when Uncle Mason went to the truck. So he knows that. And Caroline finds a journal that seems to belong to Mason. They start reading in the journal the things that happened. Tyler's getting really nervous. And then they find an SD card in the back of the journal, which we're going to see here in a little bit is rough. But we do get to see Uncle Mason again, so it's worth it. Jeremy begs Bonnie not to overexert herself. They're back to being flirty, which makes me happy. But he's like, please don't overexert yourself. And at that point, he steals some of the powder. So now we know he's got some kind of plan of his own. He thinks that Gilbert ring is going to protect him from everything. And that's his plan. Back at Slater's house, this is where we find out Slater's girlfriend, Alice, only cares about being turned. And Elena offers her up to be turned by Rose, and Rose is like,
absolutely not. She's not coming anywhere near my blood.
Yeah, she's not coming anywhere near me. I don't want anything to do with her. And then she tells her, we'll send Klaus a message.
Wait, before we get there, can we just comment on the fact that his password to his computer was Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, she said a little too on the nose. That's what she said, a little too on the nose or something like that, yeah.
He's obsessed with vampires, just not as much as me. That's what she said.
Yes, just about as much as me, right? That's what she said.
Something close to that.
Yeah, something close to that. Yeah, which is the second Twilight reference in the show.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a third one.
Oh, there's coming one on this episode.
Elena says to Alice, "You need to send Klaus a message that the doppelganger is alive and ready to surrender." And then Rose, it clicks with Rose. Oh shit, this is a suicide mission. She's willing to give herself up. I think Rose like kind of knew, but she didn't no. I think that she really thought for a second maybe Elena was just trying to get information, but it's not information that we need. Like, we need to be staying away from this. And now she's like, oh, she's trying to give herself up. Damon's really is about to be mad at me. That's about what's happened. So back to Jeremy. He does go rogue. He's at the tomb. He does go rogue. He shoots Catherine with a stake and then throws the powder in her face. And then goes deeper into the tomb like a dumbass. Because we all know Bonnie said it was only good for 1 to 2 minutes, and he was not running at all. He was definitely not even speed walking. Walking as slow as he could through that tomb. I have no idea how. I know, but we only have a minute or two. So
he thought it would be right there. He didn't know.
The urgency of this is not under Jeremy's feet. I'll tell you that. He's just taking his sweet little time because that Gilbert ring's going to keep him safe. Of course, he runs out. Catherine gets to him, but not before he throws the moonstone out. They realize Catherine has Jeremy. And she says, don't worry, I know he has his ring on, blah, blah, blah. But that didn't matter when Uncle John was wearing it. Why would the ring protect Jeremy from Catherine, but not John from... Like, she could get that ring off of him very easily.
Well, she didn't have a kitchen knife.
She didn't have a kitchen knife, but she has, like, full strength. She could rip his whole arm off if she wanted to.
At that point.
Well, no, because she fed on Jeremy. Because you remember they say, oh, she's fed. She's strong again or whatever. They make a comment about it. So I'm just saying, in reality... Catherine could, like, rip his arm off or something and it not even be a thing. Like, so for her to be like, I know he's got the ring on, that's just Catherine being nice. Because Catherine does know she could still kill him, even though he has that ring on.
Yeah, she said, I knew he had the ring. He was wearing his ring. I knew he would just keep coming back for more. So she probably just want to play with him like a little...
Yeah. So yeah, she knows. But I think she also knows that she could kill him without coming back as well.
100%. Oh, that is what she says. I'll be in the back playing with my new little toy. So she wanted to play with him. That's what it was.
Okay, I wrote down, does Catherine have a conscience? Maybe she doesn't want to kill a child. We haven't seen her kill any children or any teenagers or anything like that. So that could be the case. She might just be like messing around with him, but in her mind she's like, well, he is still a kid, so I don't really want to. I do have some morals.
She probably also knows if she kills Jeremy, she's shit out of luck with getting out of the tomb.
That's very true too. Yeah, that's very true too. I think she knows if she kills any of them, she's shit out of luck getting out of the tomb. So, all right, Elijah and Daddy Warlock, they're gonna do some witchy shit. All right, and then they do some witchy shit with Elena stuff. This is where everything comes into play. And then Elijah is like in the window. And Elena's like looking through the window. She's like, and then like sees Elijah. And then he goes, I know exactly where she is. All right, Caroline and Tyler watch Uncle Mason's transition on the SD card. And Uncle Mason said that he wished that he could black out and didn't feel it. But unfortunately, you do feel it all. And you can tell Tyler is really scared. Who wouldn't be? I mean, it's absolutely terrifying. He makes a comment. He's like, hour 3, hour 4, hour 5. And even at that point, he's still not even a wolf yet. Like, he's just in agonizing pain on the ground. And you don't see, he's not transitioning yet. He's just like in pain. He talks about the wolf's vein and how he can't keep it down, but he was hoping that it was going to keep things at bay. But none of that stuff is working. So yeah, it takes about 5 or 6 hours for him to start transitioning, which is pretty...
I think it was like 11 hours in, because after he said 3, 4, 5, it cut to the tape counting down.
So it probably starts early then. Yeah. And he probably... I mean, I imagine you're only a wolf for a few hours. So crazy.
I don't know why he would want to slow it down anyway. Wouldn't that be painful?
That's what I'm saying.
It's his first time, so he doesn't know.
It is his first time. Based on his research, maybe he was trying to slow it down. Maybe trying to stop it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something along the lines of that. But he's really scared, and he's, like, crying. He's like, I can't do that. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, it gives me the ick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tyler crying, I'm just like, suck it up, dude. Like, I mean, it's scary that he's turned into a werewolf, but I can't deal with him crying. Like, he's been such a douchebag the last 2 seasons. And then he's sitting there like, boo-hoo me. And I'm like, okay, well, suck it up. It's giving me the ick. Like, I'm not interested in it. I don't think Tyler's a good dude, so I don't really...
I'd cry if I saw Mason break all of his bones in his body.
I also would cry. I'm not saying that he's not valid for crying. I'm saying that it gives me the ick. I'm saying that I don't like it. I think Tyler's been a brat the last 2 seasons, and then all of a sudden he's like, I have feelings, and none of us care. That's all I'm saying. He will have some development in this series, but right now, I mean, Tyler has not done a single kind thing the entire series. So while there is a part of me that feels bad for him being scared, also like, ew. Slater's girlfriend knew who Damon was. Again, who's keeping all these records, right? We've been saying this. Like, she's like, oh my God, you're Damon Salvatore? Why is Damon so popular? Why are the Salvatore brothers so popular? There's still so much to learn here because they walked through the world not knowing this. I think they walked through the world not realizing they were being studied and wrote down about, and, you know, that they were just these 2 vampires that were important to people, and why were they important? So there's a lot to learn there. I would be incredibly interested to see what's on Slater's computer. I wish they would have just done a whole episode of them.
Somebody's been keeping track of him because Isabel knew about Damon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what there's somebody behind the scenes over the years. There's some bookkeeper. There's some. What
yeah, whoever's Klaus's people are trying to find Catherine. That's why they're doing it. Thought about that?
I mean, I'm sure Klaus is behind it. Klaus probably even wrote some of this stuff. Klaus may have drew that family photo.
No way.
I mean, he might have drawn it after he killed him. All right. So anyway, Damon shows up at the apartment. That's what that is about. And Elena is telling Damon that she has made her decision. And I would tell you, this is where the fandom gets split, because this is the first time that he takes her choice away from her. And the whole thing with Damon fans and Elena, or Damon fans and Stefan fans, is that Stefan gives her choice and Damon does not. And that is a big theme. And this is where people start to get split, because it is for me, it is hard to watch the choice being taken away from her, because I do understand what she's saying. She's like, if I die, just this one person, that we could save 75 other people. And then they're like, but you are more important than the other 75 people. So I think it sucks for Elena. I don't think it's fair to her, because I do think she's in the right. I do think if it was as simple, if we knew, like, it was black and white, that Elena could just die and everyone else was going to be saved, then fine, then let her die. Because just like Presley said last time, why do you care about all these people that have already been around for 500-600 years? Who cares if they die? Like,
well, that's what she says, is they don't question that they want to save her. And she says, why would you question what it means for me to want to save everyone I love?
I feel the same way about y'all that you feel about me.
It's just love.
It is just love. But then also she has people in her life that are like young. Like, they've been around for hundreds of years. So I can see Stefan and Damon, like, if y'all want to die for her, okay, but Jeremy shouldn't have to die. Jenna shouldn't have to die. Like, all these other people shouldn't have to die. Elena shouldn't have to die. It's not her fault she's the doppelganger. I hate that part for her, even though we just don't even understand all of it yet. But I do think that Elena's in the right here. I think it sucks that Damon took her choice away from her. But we're going to see her in a little bit that choice would have been taken away from her, with or without Damon. So we're gonna see that here in a minute anyways. So he takes it away from her. And I will say also, I didn't like how he showed his strength here. Like how he was like grabbing her, shoving her, like overpowering her in a way that I didn't like. I can understand like overpowering her like with his words and his like sternness and things like that, but being physical probably was not necessary in that scene. But then he does it again later in the show, and I wrote down that I thought was funny.
So the reason he got physical with her is my Twilight reference. Because she slaps him, and all I could think was Bella punching Jacob. And that's what I wrote down. Bella slaps Jacob, or punches Jacob.
And then he has to like take a deep breath. Yeah, I don't think that part's fair to her. That's all I'm gonna say. I get it. I do get it. I get him trying to keep her safe. This is just me playing devil's advocate here. But I don't think because I do think that she's in the right here. I do think that she's in the right. I think that if I was Elena, I would feel the exact same way. Like I would be like, no, why wouldn't he just kill me instead of everyone else? This is crazy.
I did like that he gave her fuck around and find out eyes. I did write that down.
He did. He really did.
But also, like, he was turned on. Hot is what I wrote. Yeah.
I wrote that down about Damon with something else coming up. All right. So back at the tomb, Bonnie is shielding Luca with the dog tags again. Don't know whose dog tags these are. I don't think he served in the military. It's causing him and her a lot of pain. So he's feeling it. He's getting like little stabs, little whatever. Her nose is bleeding. Everything's going crazy. And then Bonnie passes out. And Catherine threatens Jeremy again, but this time Stefan runs inside, throws Jeremy out, and now he's locked in. And I think at this point, I'm the only person happy about this. Stoked. The two of them are locked in the tomb together. Couldn't be happy. As a Stathern fan, as a newly found Stathern fan, this is it for me. This is.
That's what you meant when you texted me?
Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, when I said there's big Stefan and Catherine moment, them being stuck in the tomb. That was my big Stefan and Catherine moment.
I was waiting for something to happen.
I'm holding on the crumbs the same way Damon and Elena fans do the first 4 seasons. So sometimes we get those little crumbs, and that is my little crumb, all right? That they are stuck in the tomb together. Because I secretly think Stefan wanted to be in there. I secretly think he wanted to be in there. I do think, I say that because I think that Stefan does feel like he's losing a little bit of control. He's losing a little bit of control of Elena. He's losing a little bit of control of, which we kind of see a little bit later, but he's losing a little bit of control. I think this puts him back in the line of the hero, and he wants to come out on top, especially with Elena. So, anyways, love this. Fantastic news for me that the two of them are in there. All right, so back to Tyler and Caroline. Tyler's being kind of annoying. He's like, Caroline, why are you helping me? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, we've been friends our whole life. And he's like, yeah, we're not friends. And she's like, well, I killed someone.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote down. That is that entire page.
She goes, well, I killed someone. And then she makes it out to Tyler like she was so alone the whole time. I'm like, Stefan absolutely helped you. Like, I'm not, like, she did wake up alone. She woke up alone in the hospital. But when she killed someone, everybody already knew what was going on with her and was trying to help her. So that part, I felt like she was like, I was all alone. I'm sure there were moments she felt all alone, but she definitely was. Stefan was there for her the same way she's trying to be there for Tyler. So for her to be like, I was all alone and I didn't want you to be alone, I thought was unfair, because Stefan did definitely help her, because that scene of them in the bathroom where they breathe together is one of my favorite scenes. I love that so much. But she's basically said, well, I killed someone when I first turned. I also killed the entire police squad on your property. Forgot to tell you that. She doesn't ever mention that, by the way. I don't want that to happen to you or whatever. So that's kind of the conversation that they have. And then Maddie Blue Eyes shows up on the front porch. And he tells Caroline, this scene is so freaking sweet. He said, I was just driving around and I found myself on your front porch and I wanted to tell you that I missed you. And they both in that moment seem really happy about it. And then Tyler walks outside and you could see the color leave Matt's face. Like Matt is, and I think that I get where Matt's coming from with that, but also at the same time, why would they so bluntly just put that in your face like that? Like, if something really was going on, I think Caroline would have been acting weird, like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But she's not like that at all. She's not thinking about Tyler like that. So I hate that, like, Matt finally gathers up the courage to say something back to Tyler. Because, I mean, I don't care how people think. I do like Matt and Caroline together.
They're cute.
So I like Caroline being happy. I do like Caroline being happy. And if Matt makes her happy, it makes me happy. But Back at Slater's apartment, 2 guys show up for Elena. And she goes, thank you for coming. She goes, thank you for coming. And Damon goes, I will break your arm. And I wrote, I loved that. Earlier I was like, don't be physical with her. But then he goes, I will break your arm. But I felt him in that moment when he said that, because you could tell he was already so annoyed with her as well, that he was just like, he had made the decision. She was not going to kill herself. So at this point, anything else she did beyond that was pissing him off. And he was very annoyed. So she was like, thank you for coming. And he goes, I will break your arm. And then Elijah shows up. Walks in. He rips out both of their hearts at the same time.
Well, he ripped out the guy in the backs first, and then you just see Elijah standing there, which is fantastic in and of itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the guy in the back. The first guy. There was 3 guys. That's right. There was 3.
I think there were... No, yeah, there were 3. For sure, 3, yeah.
And then when he talks to he asked the 2 guys, who knows you're here? Who knows what's going on? Nobody. You're the only one that knows. And he goes, good. And then rips him out at the same time. And the look on Damon's face, he loves it. In his mind, Damon's going, I mean, if I'm going to die, this is a good way to die. Like, he's like, that's cool. Sweet move. Like, that's sick. I definitely feel like Damon liked Elijah's style. He likes how he does things. And even though he feels like he's about to die, he's like, I mean, that was cool. Like, it was very obviously something Damon has done or Damon inspires to do. It probably brought him down memory lane. Oh, I remember when I ripped my first 2 hearts out, you know? So anyways, that was exciting. That was exciting for him. But also at the same time, they're like, holy shit, he's alive. So they're processing him being alive and being like just badass.
Yeah. Because that's what he says is, I killed you. You were dead. And he says, for centuries now.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite lines.
Yeah. For centuries now. Yeah. So he's not dead, obviously. So Elijah turns around and runs out, and he tells Warlock Daddy that he didn't kill Damon because Damon's going to keep her safe, and safe is where she needs to be. So back to what I was saying earlier, Elijah would have made that choice for her either way. He was not going to allow her to turn herself over. And why will play into the next episode when they sit down and have a conversation. But he wasn't going to let her turn herself over. His plan was to keep herself in anyways, so Damon was spared because he knows the Salvatore brothers will do nothing. It will stop at nothing to keep her safe. So Jeremy tells Bonnie that he stepped in because he didn't want her to get hurt. And she said, you can't feel that way about me. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, can we not pretend like this is one-sided? I mean, honest to God, can we not? We've seen your little smile, Bonnie. We've seen how giddy you get when Jeremy in his 6'2" body is hovering over your little tiny frame. Okay, we know, we see it.
So it's quit acting like I'm some kid who has a crush on his sister's friend.
Yes, and obviously there's something going on between them. We've been saying this. And then he goes to kiss her, and she's like, I can't. I'm sorry. Ew, Bonnie. Ew. Okay, you absolutely shouldn't. What do you mean? I'm also sorry. I'm sorry for you for wasting your time because Jeremy's a catch. And obviously, he's been through a lot. And I think he is taking a risk having a crush on someone supernatural, first of all, and also someone that is possibly could die at any moment because of the things that they do. As we know, Jeremy had 2 girlfriends die in the first season. So he's got to really like her if he's putting himself out there like that. I'm just saying he's been through a lot. So I kind of hate that she dissed him right there. And is it Luca's fault? I guess we'll see. Back at the house, Damon and Elena are trying to figure out why Elijah let them go. Damon tells her that she was being stupid. And she goes, no, it was stupid for me to get caught. And then Jeremy opens the door. Jeremy's got at first I was like, why is that on his neck? But I remember he hasn't been around anybody yet. He hasn't been around a vampire yet to give him some vampire blood to heal or whatever. And I guess Stefan couldn't throw any over the line. So he's got it. But he's got the bandage on his neck. And then the next thing you see Elena running. She's running to that tomb. Damon stops her from running in. And Catherine is loving the bickering going on between Damon and Elena. Mm-hmm. She is eating it up. She's looking at Stefan. She can see it's agonizing to him. She loves every second of it. I love every second of it for her because it puts him in a vulnerable position to where, maybe Catherine might not look so bad. You know what I mean? So we'll see when that comes. But Catherine's eating it up. It's 1864 all over again for her. So they're bickering, whatever. Elena runs out. And then Stefan says, I'll figure it out. Just keep Elena away. Break the curse of the moonstone. Promise me you'll protect her. And he promises. And then Catherine walks up right behind him. And she says, that right there is the biggest mistake you've ever made. And my bitch is right. That's the sacrifice. MVP. I wanted to give it to Jeremy. But then the more I think about it, I'm just like a little annoyed that Jeremy ran in there without, so I think I'm going to give it to Stefan. Because I think that Stefan did what he did for Elena. He had to save Jeremy, had to always step in. Again, maybe it was a little, I want to be in there with Catherine. It could just be me feeling that way. But I do feel like he did that to help Elena. So I think I give the MVP to Stefan this episode.
Jeremy, 100%.
Jeremy's a close second for me. I think that if Stefan hadn't jumped in to save Jeremy, then I would feel different. But then it was like a domino effect at that point. Like what Jeremy did wasn't enough, so then Stefan had to be like the hero. But I do think that Jeremy's heart was in the right place. But I do think that he needs to like not think that he's invincible with that Gilbert ring, especially around a 500-year-old vampire.
I don't think he cares about the ring or not. He was just doing what he had to do to protect the people he loved.
To protect the people he loved. But also, again, this is one time where we do have to be like, okay, he is 16. So maybe
he's 1 year younger than Elena.
I know, but maybe Jeremy or Elena shouldn't be the ones running in to save themselves for a vampire that's 100-something years old. So, quote of the episode, mine's actually from Bonnie. And it's when she's chewing out Jeremy about being stupid. And then she goes, well, I don't know. Between here and the upstairs, there's still time for you to do something stupid. I thought it was so funny. So that was my quote.
It was a close. Yeah. It was between that and, for me, Damon.
Yeah.
Do you know which one it is?
No.
Get your ass out of the door before I throw you over my shoulder and carry you out myself.
And that's when she gives him that look or whatever.
That's when she slaps him.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. We said mistrust was the theme tonight, and the Gilbert siblings, cousins, whatever it is they are, they have caused chaos and have put others in danger with their scheming and lies. Tyler is terrified of the full moon, and we are ready to never talk about the moonstone again. Next week, on By the Light of the Moon, Tyler prepares for the transition. A friend named Jules shows up looking for Mason. Elena, she's going to stay mad. And Elijah will make an offer that could change everything we think we know so far about the storyline. Use hashtag Bloodlines and Backdrops to tell us how you're surviving the season. What's your favorite moment from season 2 so far? And until then, stay safe, stay vampy, and remember, in Mystic Falls, nothing is ever as it seems.